I'm Colleen Jacobson. I've been a member of First United Methodist Church for as many years as I can remember since I was confirmed, I guess.
I'm Doris Whitaker. They asked me to tell what the church means to me.
What event has made the biggest impact on your spiritual life? Eve Green answered, all of my years at First United Methodist Church, Sunday school, MYF, church services, guided me throughout the spiritual journey and helped keep me on a spiritual path that took me closer to God and His ways. It is good to know that He is always with me, no matter what may happen.
Many years ago, when the Easter cantata was given, and all of our family of 3 children were still at home with us, and so we all attended that. And when the service was over, they covered all of the stained glass windows with black tarp, so the room was absolutely dark, imitating what it was like Good Friday of the time of Jesus' crucifixion. And we left in silence then, and I remember we were all sitting in the car before we headed home and just were so taken by that. It was such an inspirational feeling, and my kids felt it too, even though they were high school, middle school, young, but we really thought it was a really inspirational scene.
Could you describe what the old downtown First United Methodist Church was like? What was it like when you found out it had burned down?
Karen Garrels responded, my husband was one of the firefighters at the scene, and I also was on the corner with my children. It was awful to see it burn down. Roger was an interior firefighter, and he was in the basement with Reverend Dorn as he was trying to save some documents, and Roger grabbed him by the arm and said, we have to get out of here now. The roof is going to collapse. They got out just in time, as it did just that.
Glenda's response, it was a grand building with elegant architecture and dark engraved woods. The organ was huge and located above and behind the choir loft. The halls went on forever. The basement was ordinary, but brought fun memories of Vacation Bible School, Kool-Aid, and graham crackers. Norma's response, it was like a gracious lady, full of elegance and beautiful spaces. The sanctuary was so beautiful with a balcony. It was just a restful place to worship.
My dear Aunt Norma Schrack, 91 years old, when I asked her what she remembered about the night the church burned down, and she said, we cried enough tears that night, there should have been enough to put out that fire.
What was it like when the congregation had to go through the rebuilding of the church after the fire?
Reverend Dorn and Winona Whitney, they were very busy during this time after the fire.
We attended church at the campus Lutheran Chapel in the summer, and then we were over at the Kearney High School auditorium for services during the school year. That was kind of a different feeling. I think it had to be difficult for those who were in charge to do that, because I know you can worship God wherever, but it was still difficult. We were there at the auditorium, but we eventually got to the new building, which was great.
Peggy Miller's response, committees were soon appointed for choosing a new site, working with architects, fundraising, as well as keeping the focus of the church on serving and supporting its members in every possible way. As young parents, we were thankful that the education unit was still usable.
What are some of your favorite church activities from over the years?
Probably Christmas Day dinners when we did attend, because sometimes our family was getting together at Christmas, but then there were other years we weren't, and we would come up, and I'd also had helped furnish food many years, but we enjoyed the fellowship because there was a lot of people like us didn't have anybody with them that day. And then I guess another one might have been the Easter cantatas were always enjoyable because our choirs always have done such a magnificent job of putting together a program, and the bell choirs too.
This church offers many opportunities for growth in the different programs. Our son Mark became an Eagle Scout in the scouting program here at the church. After Don passed away, I went to the grief support group and it was helpful. There's many programs here in the church that offer to youth, children, and adults, Bible study and other activities. United Methodist Women, and now it's called United Women in Faith, has been very special to me. I belong to a circle, and we have fellowship and times of sharing in that circle. And then we have our unit meetings also. This unit hosted the Great Plains Conference annual meeting and the Gateway District fall meeting here just recently. So it's been a very busy fall for United Methodist Women. We used to do the cookie walk at Christmas time, and then we hosted Lenten lunches for a number of years also.
What would be one of your special memories of First United Methodist Church, and why the church has been important in your life and community?
I've worked many years doing different committee work, and of course the women have always been busy at our church. I know so many times they say sometimes the women are the backbone of the church, but I don't know, but we always were glad to do whatever we could to help. I guess just the fellowship of working with other people, and over the years we've had many fine pastors and staff, and so I just always have enjoyed coming to church. I miss it if I'm not here, not only for worshiping, but just for the fellowship with people.
Cheryl's response. I think one is when we had the first service at the new church. It was so different from the old church, but the stained glass windows were so beautiful, you felt that a new chapter was beginning.
Karen Garles responded, one of my favorites is when one of our twin sons decided to go to church with us instead of to the nursery. He started to talk, and we told him he wasn't to talk now. The minister heard that, and Art said, is he the only one that can talk? We said yes, and he said, then take me to the nursery instead. I can talk there.
Norma's response. Our Boy Scouts, Bob was the leader for years, dug the bell out of the debris, and when we had our new church, the bell was put where it is now.
And Sally Hopp says, my earliest memory is sitting on the carpet in a Sunday school room and looking up at a beautiful painting of Jesus surrounded by children. I knew he was kind and the church was a special place. We were taught then the fun finger play of this is the church, this is the steeple, open the doors and see all the people. I believe the church is invaluable in laying a strong foundation for our dear children.
Glenda's response. Outlining Reverend Doran's sermons for confirmation and attending church with my grandfather and sitting in the balcony at the old church. Our favorite hymn was Holy, 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 and he always reminded me to wait for the organ and not get in a hurry.
Eve Green answered, I will never forget my confirmation. It meant so much to me. I always loved the balcony so I could get a bird's eye view of the beautiful sanctuary and choir. Sometimes my folks were late getting to church, and the only room we could go to was the cry room. It was a glass-enclosed room in the back of the sanctuary for parents with babies and vocal toddlers. Spending a few Sundays in there encouraged them to be more punctual.
We have been so fortunate over the years to have special ministers that have served us and the church staff that have worked along with them. We have been so blessed to have these people be among us. Right now, it's just, I feel very fortunate to be able to be a part of this congregation. There's opportunities for growth spiritually, for fellowship. I'm thankful that God has given me 67 years to come to this church and to be a part of the congregation and have fellowship with the other people. It's been a vital part of my life, and I'm just so thankful that I've had this opportunity, and I appreciate being asked to share what this church means to me.